Deus omnipotens.
Friends, welcome back. Now let us go into the translation or to the exercises from Swetnam chapter 26, which is we have just begun with the middle voice. Let's look into the exercises. First one, Udain kakon hevriskomen. The verb is here. O men. First person plural. O is the helping verb, comes from hevrisko, present indicative active, third person singular, which means we find. N plus dative, N to anthropo, tuto. Udain, basically U, Kakon is evil. We find no evil in this man. We find no evil in this man. Verb, negation, adjective, and plus dative. We find no evil in this man. Second, you find A. The moment you see A, it is a conditional sentence. You have ete, which is imperfect second person plural. You were. Now, if you were imperfect indicative active, if you were blind to fly plural, we saw the to fly plural. If you were blind, ekete is another verb. We saw it already. Imperfect indicative active of echo second person plural. If you were blind, there is a negation. This on generally comes in the conditional sentences. Here, I think you can almost take it like if then in that sense. If you were blind, then you had no sin. Or if you were blind, you would not have sin. If you were blind, you would not have sin. I think first one is more simpler. If you were blind, you had no sin. So if then, that kind of a condition. Third one, Halon estin hemas, hode einai. Interesting. Halon estin, it is good. Estin is very common, you know it by now. What construction do we have here? We have spoken about it many times. Accusative infinitive. When the accusative infinitive construction, accusative acts like a subject, and the infinitive, we almost use it like conjugated verb, which means it is good that we supply. Hemas becomes not us, it becomes acts like a subject. So it is good that we enai are ode here. It is good that we are here. Do you remember who said these words? To whom and where? It is good that we are here. Fourth, ei u baptizontai vuk estiusin. Once again, a conditional one with indicative, but we have the middle voice here. Do you see that ontai, maisai tai, metasten tai, tai? What does that mean? If they do not wash, because it is a middle voice, if they do not wash themselves, uk estiusin, again indicative present, indicative active here, they do not eat. If they do not wash themselves, because of the middle voice, reflexive, if they do not wash themselves, then they do not eat. If you want, you pause for a while here, think about it, and continue. Good. Tai vuk estin en allo udeni he soteria. He soteria, salvation. Now we have got vuk here, and again we have got a negation, udeni. Now both are negations. Now generally in English, we think if there is a double negation, we think that the effect is cancelled out, but that is not how Greek works. We got to make this distinction. Given in the explanation below, in the classical and in Koine Greek, combining u or wook with a negative pronoun udeis, udein, medeis, or negative adverb hupote, that we are yet to see it, does not cancel the negation, it intensifies it. What does that mean? The two negatives work cumulatively, not cancellingly. This is the opposite of the standard logic, standard English logic. Now, English, negative, negative, it cancels each other. In Greek, vuk and vudeni, how do we understand it? No. In no, no, sorry, not in no one at all. In this case, no, in no one at all. It is more of like, it gives that emphatic force to the sentence. So let us read what it says. There is, and the, okay, he soteria is the subject, and salvation is in no other. And salvation, he soteria, is in, is, where are we? Is in no other. But there is another hook here. Now, as I explained, that is for emphasis. But there is no salvation in any other at all. No, there is no salvation in any other at all. So once again, I repeat, and taking he soteria as a subject, and salvation is in no other. But in your understanding, because of the double negation, you have to understand is with such emphasis. No, there is no salvation in no other at all. 6. Isti, imperative, second singular, emi, ekei, there, hevos an, legos soi. Be there until, lego, I say to you. Be there until I say to you. 7. Archetai. Here we have a middle, third person singular. My sai thai, third person singular. Poiesus is the subject. Didaskein, infinitive. Autus is accusative. Polla, accusative neuter plural. How do we translate it? Jesus, archetai, when it is in the middle, begin. Jesus begins. Didaskein. See, now begins like wish, telo, like telo. To begin also needs a complementary infinitive. So what do we have here? Jesus begins to teach them. Now polla, neuter plural, accusative. Now we can say Jesus began to, literally Jesus began to teach them many. But here, because it is a neuter, you will what to say, put it as many things. Jesus began to teach them many things. Number 8, auto. We have seen this sentence in the earlier chapters. Auto to biblion kai panta ton lawon erantizen. Now, erantizen here is active. It is not a middle, it is active, and aorist active, third person singular, which means um, he sprinkled, he, how do we do it? He sprinkled. Now, auto is very interesting. Auto, as you have seen in chapter 5 or 6 somewhere, I don't remember. Auto can also say that action is happening on self. It can reflect the action back on self. So what are we having? He sprinkled the book. Now comes auto effect comes now. He sprinkled the book itself and all the people. He sprinkled the book itself and all the people. 9. Philosomai. Again, we have a middle here. Apopases adikias. Philosomai. If you go back to the vocabulary, philoso is here. Middle, I avoid or I observe. I avoid. Philosomai. I avoid all injustice. Adikyas is injustice. So I avoid or I abstain from all injustice, or I avoid all injustice. Apekete. This is we have comes from apeco, present, active, transitive, because there is the it takes the object here. I receive ta paraklesin, ten paraklesin, accusative paraklesin, encouragement. I receive on your, genitive, plural. I receive your encouragement. Number 11. A wu ranti zontai. We have a verb in the middle here. Earlier we saw rantizo. We have rantizontai, third person plural. Present middle act. Sorry, present middle indicative, third person plural. Uk estusin. A brings in the condition. If they do not wash, because it is who is a negation. If they do not wash, because it is a middle voice, if they do not wash themselves. Wook STUs in present active indicative, third person plural, they do not eat. If they do not wash themselves, they do not eat. So you have to bring in that effect of the middle voice along with the verb. Second, eyantismu acuse ton rematon paime fulaxe adicosestin. Ayan, we spoke about it other day. With ayan comes the subjunctive. So accuse, we have subjunctive there, third person singular. This is indefinite pronoun, someone, certain one. Now, along with the accuse, I expected a accusative. Ton, rematon, it is genitive. Why it is genitive and why not accusative? I'll give the simplest of the explanation, which I've tried to find. Akuo regularly takes a genitive of the person as its source to hear someone. So for that, we already have my words. Now, genitive of object. Now here, because along with akuo comes the genitive, ton, rematon, the words, the focus is not on the content of the rematon, but on the sound itself. In the process of hearing, I just read what I have found. Genitive object with akuo tends to mark the sound being perceived, hearing as an auditory event without necessarily implying the content is grasped. Is it too complicated? I expected here, if someone listens my words, but here, because it is not accusative, but it's given in genitive, we need to make a distinction when we understand. The focus is not on the content of the word, but that auditory event. So if someone listens to my words and may, who comes in indicative and may comes in all other moods. So we have fulak say. If someone listens to my words but does not observe, he is unjust. If someone listens to my words, here words means that process of listening, not necessary content is perceived, as I said, listens to my words but does not keep, he is evil. Oh, sorry, he is unjust. 13. He de cardia auton, now their heart apekei. Apekei, here it acts like intransitive, it is no direct object. Now their heart distant from me. Now their heart is distant from me. Is that correct? Number 13. Now their heart is far from me or distant from me. Apekei, apeko, it comes from apeko, to be far from, to be turns into is. So now their heart is distant or not far from me. 14. Apekometa. Apekometa. Apeko in the middle. Now previously it was active. Now it is the middle. Apekometa, first person plural, middle. We abstain from. We abstain from hematos, blood. We abstain from blood. Number 15, Ho Jesus is the subject. Pareketai, Hegomena. Hegomena is leader. Pareketai, Pareko, third person singular, middle voice. And it means I offer something from my side, from myself. Jesus offers. Um, okay, Hegomena is a leader, but there is no definite article, so a leader. Jesus offers himself, Yauton, a leader, or Jesus offers himself as a leader. Jesus offers himself as a leader. 16. That going back, Jesus offers himself a leader is the literal, but a little more improvised version. Jesus offers himself because himself. Okay, Jesus offers himself as, it's a little more polished one, as a leader. Number 16, Hotios parekei emin panta. Parekei, pareko. Let's go back to that meaning. Pareko. In the active, it is to cause or bring about. In the middle, to offer. Now, do we have the middle or the active? Now we have active voice here. This is not middle, this is active. So that is to bring about or to cause. God causes or God brings about all things. Panta, neuter, plural. God brings about all things to us or for us. Jesus brings about all things for us. Jesus brings about all things for us or to us. Number 17, post-ration thai, the soldiers. Every schools in present active indicative third person plural do not find. Authus accusative plural. The soldiers do not find them ente fulake in the prison. Do you remember what context is this? It is from the Acts of the Apostles. About whom is this spoken? What situation? The soldiers do not find them in the prison. 18. Humeis martures tuton. Tuton is these, from hutos, genitive plural. Martures, nominative plural. Humei. Where is the verb? Where is the verb? There is no verb seen here. There is a case called ellipsis. Ellipsis means if the verb is obvious, sometimes in Greek they do not write it. For example, most of the time when the verb is missing, the emi supplies it. So whenever it is obvious, there is a tendency in the biblical Greek, they drop the verb. Literally, you witnesses of these. But we supply the verb you are. Humeis eisin, you are martures tuton, witnesses tuton of these. Number 19. Kai didaskein. Didaskein is the aorist indicative third person plural. He taught. Hutos them. En parabolais. In parables. Polla. Polla we have come across many times. I will not explain it again. Neuter plural. Accusative here. So he taught them many things in parables. Or he taught them in parables many things. Number 20. Pode Jesus exo ep eremois topois en. Locate the verb en imperfect of yemi. Hexo outside. Subject is ho Jesus, de is now or and. Ep plus we have dative. Epi plus dative. Take out your preposition charts. Epi plus dative. It means at or on. Now Jesus was exo, outside, on, or you can also say in, on, eremois topois, on a deserted place. Now Jesus was outside on a deserted place. Number 21. Apantes hosoi, ekon asteneis, hegon autus prosauton. Some of the things in this we have already seen. Now, apantes means all, hosos as many as much as. But when you bring together apantes hosoi, for translation, remember the technical term all who. Apantes all, hosoi, when it joins with apantes, all who. Akon comes from echo, imperfect. Third plural, it can also be first singular, but here it's third plural. All who had sick or sick people. Hegon comes from ago. What tense is this? Imperfect. Ago is to lead or to bring. All who had sick people were leading them, autos, accusative plural, leading them prosauton to Jesus. All who had sick people, all who had sick people, they were leading them to Jesus. Sorry, they were leading them to him. Number 22. This is easy. Hode Jesus erketai. Now Jesus goes, exo plus genitive, outside the city. See, erketa is erkoma is the same verb for to come or to go. Here, to go, because it is outside, go makes more sense than to say to come. So Jesus goes outside the city. 23, Kyrie, vocative, Lord. Sumu nipteis, we have active indicative, uh, second singular. It is also a question, there is a question mark. Lord, do you, because to make it a question, Lord, do you, nipteis, wash, because it's active, do you wash my feet? Lord, do you wash my feet? You know, John chapter 13, washing of the disciples' feet. Do you remember who said this? Maybe you go back today to John 13:6. Look at it again. Kurie sumu nipteis tus podas. 24. Ugar niptontai, ontai, third person plural middle. Tas keiras, auton. Keiras is hand. Tas is accusative plural, auton genitive. Pote when, arthon bread. Estiusin, active indicative, present active indicative, third person plural. Now, I said middle voice brings the effect on itself, so we look at it as a reflexive. But there are times the object is explicitly mentioned. For the in this case, object is sorry. In this case, object is explicitly mentioned here. So when the object is explicitly mentioned, we take that object. I will not say, for they do not wash themselves. No. In this case, because the object is mentioned, for they do not wash their hands, hote, when, using, they eat. The active meaning, active third person plural, present indicative. For when they, for they do not wash their hands when they eat bread. If you want, pause for a while and think of it again. For they do not wash their hands when they eat bread. And finally, eti, still, pronoun micron, a little while, pronoun micron. Micron is a little while. Do you remember in the vocabulary we saw that micron? Micron, micros. The second one as an adverb when we use it, the second one, do you see here? A little while. Still a little while or still a little time. Pronoun. Amy, I am. Met Umon, I am with you. Still a little while, I am with you. So with that, we come to the end of chapter 26. This chapter had a little too many exercises, but it is take your time and go through them because exercises bring in a lot of grammatical nuances that you should not miss. Although you see something in the theory, theory remains a theory unless you go to the practicals. And these exercises are the practicals. Take time and go through them. I appreciate today must have been little heavy with two chapters going together. Nevertheless, um, keep working, keep working. You will see the fruit very soon. This week is going to be very important. So I request you this week, eat Greek, sleep Greek, and just have Greek in your head when you walk, when you get up, when you sit, when you eat, full time Greek. At the end of this week, you will see the result. Thank you.
Deus omnipotens, lux et